Hello everybody, welcome to another lesson. Today we are going to see the lesson number 4 in linking words, which is called concession. Before we go to explain what is concession, let's listen to these two sentences and then try to guess what's the problem with them. The first sentence: James is a very hard-working student. He got 0 in math. James is a very good student. He got 0 in math. Is that possible? Can we say that? No, we can't. That's why we need concession to make this sentence clear. We are going to go back to this one and we will come back to see this sentence by the end. So, for concession we have two groups. The first group and the second group. We are going to explain the difference. In spite of, despite, and we have although. So look at, in spite of is followed by a noun phrase. Okay? It's followed by a noun phrase. Especially, it can be also a gerund. Despite is the same. It's also followed by a noun phrase. Okay? But we can concentrate on in spite of. For example, in spite of being ill. This is a gerund. It's a noun phrase. Okay? I just want to make it more, let's say, I want to make it clearer for you. So we can say, in spite of being ill, he came to work. So if you say he was ill, he came to work, there is a problem. We need concession to make this sentence clear. Or simply, when we want to write this type of sentences, we think about the opposite. It's not the opposite of the sentence, it's the opposite of what we expect. When you say he was ill and came to work, what do you expect? You expect that he didn't come to work. But we have the opposite of that. That's why we say here, in spite of being ill, he came to work. So he came to work is the opposite of what we expect. Okay? The second one, despite. Also despite is followed by noun phrase, as we have here, despite plus noun phrase. For this one, we can say in spite of being ill, or in spite of his illness, he came to work. Despite the storm, which means it was a bit stormy, windy and so on, they went out on a trip. If you say to someone that there was a storm, my family went on a trip, there is a problem. He will not understand that. But if you say, despite the storm, they went on a trip, now it makes sense. It means that they knew that there was a storm, and despite that, they went on a trip. Then we have although. Although is different from these two. Okay? Although is followed by a subject and a verb, and you can continue the sentence wherever you want. You can have a complement or an object or, let's say, adverbials, etc. So look at this sentence. Although Ahmed trained very well, so Ahmed trained very well, we have a complete sentence. Comma, he lost the competition. Okay? For this sentence, again, we can exchange them. It's the same. He came to work in spite of his illness. They went on a trip despite the storm. We don't have a problem. He lost the competition, although he trained very well. Okay? So, remember for the noun, the name, or the noun in general, we start with the noun, and after that we put the subject as a pronoun, because the pronoun replaces the noun. So we can start with although he and so on, Ahmed. We can have this in some writing, but for you, try not to do that, because sometimes we get lost. I don't know whom you are speaking about. Okay? Good. So this is the first part. This is how we do that. Remember, although, subject, verb. Although, subject, verb. In spite of plus noun phrase. Despite plus noun phrase. Okay? That's the first part. Now, let's look at the second part. Nevertheless, however, yet. Nevertheless, however, yet. Never the less. This is how we write it. Never the less. However, yet they are the same. You can exchange them. We don't have a problem with that. Okay? It's just some of them, nevertheless, is more formal than the others, but you can exchange them if you are writing an academic essay or paragraph, etc. So let's look at this sentence. They knew their mother was ill, yet they did nothing to help her. Okay? Yet they did nothing to help her. For yet, we have nevertheless. We can have here nevertheless, yet, or however. No problem. They are the same. Remember, all the time they come in the middle of a sentence. Some of them, especially however or nevertheless, we can have it at the beginning of a sentence if it is the beginning of a paragraph. But we can't come, for example, and start the sentence, yet they did, and then we move. It's not like the first part. The first part we can exchange them, but the second part we can't. Okay? We can't. They knew their mother was ill, yet they did nothing to help her. This is how we should write it. We cannot exchange the sentence. So this is concession, and remember, it's different from contrast. For contrast, it's the opposite. The first sentence is the opposite of the second sentence. But for concession, we have the first clause or the first sentence. We have the opposite of what we expect. For example, they knew their mother was ill. What do we expect if your mother was ill? We expect that you will do everything you can to save her life. But we have the opposite of what we expect. They did nothing to help her. So this is concession. If you still have questions concerning this lesson, please put them at the comment section and I will be very happy to help. Okay? So see you in another video. Thank you for watching. And remember, subscribe, like if you haven't done that yet. And thank you for watching again. Bye.